Hi everyone, happy almost 4th of July. We got started on this a couple of days ago on Friday on this oversized tote bag. It's a big tote bag. Anyway, so we decided to go ahead and put, with your votes, we decided to go ahead and put a sunflower, but I decided it needed some leaves and maybe something else on it. We'll see. But I want to work on it a little bit. We've got family coming in and we're going to do some things, but I wanted to work on it, see if we could maybe get a little bit closer to being done with it. I have not done anything else with it. I told you I would wait. Hi, Miss Jean. And paint with you. Try to finish painting it with you. Let me get you pulled up over here on my iPad so that we can see comments. And there we are. See if I can get comments pulled up here. Say hello when you come in. And there's Miss Jean from Northeast Georgia. Hello, thank you, thank you. I'm sure everybody's out working on stuff and doing things. So I've just got about an hour and a half at the most to work on this. I'm using a mixture of, I've got some fabric paint that is already mixed up fabric paint, but then I've got just regular acrylic that I'm adding some fabric medium to because I didn't have all the colors that I wanted. So I need to get that mixed up a little bit. And it tells you on the bottle the ratio. I think it's 2 parts paint to 1 part medium. Okay, so I'm getting that mixed up, and then I'll heat dry it in the dryer once I'm finished with it. But we're going to work on the leaves right now. I didn't have a pattern for this. Well, I say I didn't have a pattern. I had a wood cutout for the flower itself. Excuse me. For the flower itself, just around the edges. But as far as everything else, I didn't really have a pattern or know exactly what we were going to be doing on it. But wanted to paint it with you regardless of what I do on it. All right, so we've got Miss Jean. Say hello. Hi, Judy. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining me on this. It feels like Saturday to me because kids have been here and just everything going on. It just feels like a Saturday. But I have to remember that it's, what is today? Is it Monday? Monday or Tuesday? It's Monday. Is that right? Yes, Monday. All right, so tomorrow's officially the 4th, but we're going to go to a big fireworks show this evening and got family coming in for that. But I thought I had about an hour, hour and a half to work on this, and I told everybody when we did it Friday that I wouldn't do anything else to it until I painted it with you. So if you're new, I am Pam Savage with Young at Heart Creations, owner of Young at Heart Creations. And I try to hop on here as often as I can, but typically on Thursday evenings is when I come on live to paint with you. So that's usually what we do. Had 2 more sign-ups, so we've got 9 participants so far for the Paint with Pam Day. And if you're not familiar with what that is, it's an in-person paint day here in Sherman, Texas at the Movie Bowl Grill. It'll be from 9:30 to 5-ish. We have it until 5, so until we finish. And we're going to be painting this adorable giant clothespin to look like a snowman. And it actually opens, and I thought it would be so cute to put a Christmas card, a Christmas picture, or a recipe or anything. It doesn't have to be. Now, I've put holly on mine, but which makes it a little Christmassy, but we don't have to do that. If you want to just leave it as a winter one, you could do that. On some of them I have painted, I left the back empty and did a different season, like a scarecrow on the back of it, so you would have 2 different seasons. And so that's what I did with those. So we're going to be painting that. We're also going to be learning how to paint a beard. This is just one way, but this is what we're going to work on also. We're just going to do this one on poster board. This is just going to be a practice one for you. And then you can paint it on a gnome or on Santa or, you know, anything with a beard. It also looks kind of like animal fur, and it looks a little bit intimidating, but it's not. It's going to be so much fun. You're going to be surprised how easy it is. And then we're also going to be painting this pretty mason jar. We're going to leave it blank on the back so you can take it home and paint anything on the back. You can paint a different season on the back, but this is what we're going to be doing. The letters are 3D. As you can see, they're glued on, and I will have those for you. I'll have everything you need to finish these projects except for the sealer. I'll let you take it home, let it cure, and then you can seal it however you want to for outdoors or indoors. But we're going to be doing this. I'll have the pattern all drawn on for you. So it's going to be so easy. Pretty much like just filling in the blanks or code coloring or whatever you want to start, just like in a coloring book almost. So if you've never painted before, it does not matter. If you're a beginner, it does not matter. If you're a seasoned painter and you finish before everybody else and you want to add some more details to it, you can certainly do that as well. So it's for the beginner and the seasoned painter, either way. So I have a certain number that I need to get to in order for the class to make. And we're up to 9 right now. And you've got until July the 20th to register, which is only, what, 16 days, I think, you've got to register on that. And to do that, you will go to my website, youngatheartcreations.com, click on Events, and then click on the Paint with Pam, and that will take you to the form to fill out. Once you fill out that form, scroll down to the bottom, and there's a little button that says Register. Make sure you click on that Register, or it doesn't recognize that you have registered. So be sure and click on that for me. I feel like I'm all kind of twisted up here. Okay, and I've got a little bit of a raspy voice today, but we're going to get through it. Okay, I've got some leaves. I just took some chalk. This is on a canvas tote bag that I got from Hobby Lobby. And if you're watching the replay, thank you. Just put hashtag replay so I'll know that you were there and where you're from. And especially if you're a newbie, my family of followers welcome you. And we're thrilled to have you. But I just took a piece of chalk and just kind of drew out where I wanted the leaves over here and over here. And then I'm thinking about putting something up top there. We'll see. And I will probably go around and shade around the petals on the outside to kind of lift it off. I don't know if I'll have time to do all of that on camera, but we'll go ahead and do what we can here. Okay, so I like to dampen my brush a little bit. And then I have pre-mixed the greens that we're going to use to do some leaves. So I've pre-mixed it in this silicone container, so I can put the lid on it. Now I'm going to bring you down. Hi, Gail. Hello. Hi, Denise. Thanks for hopping on. All right, let's work on this a little more. Let me get you pulled down here. And I'm going to start on this corner, and then I'll work over here so I'm not dragging my arm across that. And again, I got the bag at Hobby Lobby. I'm going to start out with Hauser Medium Green. And that is not the fabric paint, but I've mixed the fabric medium into it. So I'm going to start out with that Hauser Medium Green. And I'm using an angle brush. And I'm just going to fill in where I want my leaf. Now the flower petals, I base coated in white first, but I think we're going to be okay with this green. I think it's dark enough that it will cover. And I'm just holding it up on the chisel edge right now just to get around the petal. I love using chalk, even on my wood projects. I use it a lot because if I don't like what I draw out, I can just I usually take a toothbrush or a stiff paintbrush if it's on fabric, and then just my hats that I've been doing, I use a toothbrush a lot or a stiff brush to get that chalk off if I need to redo it. And then after you're finished painting, once you're done, if you've got any chalk showing, you just brush it off and then you're good to go again. Okay, now I'm just really working this down in to the fabric. I got these brushes at Walmart. It's a Royal and Lang Nickel. They're a little bit stiffer than the normal ones I use, which works perfect for the fabric. But I wanted to go ahead and do the leaves because I didn't know where I want if I end up going around the outside of the flower with a color, just to kind of make it lift off of the bag and look 3D. I wouldn't have to shade around them. I'd know where to shade. Okay, and I'm just really working it down. That canvas is very porous, and you have to kind of work it down in there, which is nice to have a little bit stiffer brush for. Okay, and I'm just outlining it and then filling it in. It's a pretty color. I use typically the Hauser greens for all of my leaves. It comes in Hauser dark, Hauser medium, and Hauser light. Now, when I use the medium as my base, I usually shade it with the dark, and then I'll either use the light Hauser medium to highlight with, or I'll use a lime color. And today I'm going to be using, to highlight with it, I'll be using this fabric paint that's already mixed, and it's lime green. And I got that at Hobby Lobby. All right, let me get around this little little petal here. Okay, we'll let that dry just a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and base coat this one on the other corner. See if I can keep it in camera for you. Hi, Peggy. Oh, you already do, Peggy. You already do, dear. All right, let's get it on here. And thank you so much. Seeing Peggy's name reminded me. Thank you so much for sharing. Whoops, can't say that word. For sprinkling the information about my Paint with Pam Day. Y'all have been sprinkling it out to your on your pages for me, and that has really helped. I've got some that have said they're coming for sure, but have not registered yet, registered and paid, so it doesn't show me. It doesn't register them until you filled that form out, hit the register button, and paid, and then it sends me a notification. Now, if you're local and you don't want to go through the website to do that, and you just want to pay me in person, that is perfectly okay too. But we will paint those 3 projects that I showed you in the beginning. And we will also have everybody's name's going to be put in for door prizes. We'll have several different door prizes. And then each person will get a swag bag that I'm filling with some goodies. And we'll have a photo op with all of our finished projects. Got to brag on you when you come and paint. And I've got some that they're family members trying to get them to come with them, and they go, I don't know how to paint. I've never painted. I promise you will know the basics and be hooked on it if you come. Doesn't matter if you've never painted before, because we'll walk through it step by step, and you will have a blast. And it's just so much fun to get together with each other in person. I know I can do the online ones and the virtual classes, and that is fun too, and I so much enjoy painting with y'all when we do that. But there's just nothing like getting together in person, painting together. Okay, let me work that in a little better. I'm going to widen that leaf just a little bit. Okay, let me look back over here and make sure there's not any spots that we missed. Sometimes when it dries in, some of it comes through where you can see the see through. So I want to make sure we get all that covered up. Okay, and I think we're good on that. Okay, so there, now you're looking at it upside down right now. The leaves are at the bottom. Let's see if I can turn it over, if that would give you a better view. Okay, gonna fill in around those edges a little bit. And then I'm not even going to clean my brush out, and I'm going to dip in that dark Hauser, the darker color, just on the tip of my brush. Hi, Katie. You just started painting tote bags. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I love doing sunflowers. If you have followed me at any length of time, you know that I love painting the sunflowers, and there's so many different ways you can do them. By the way, if you have not hit that follow button and you're watching for the first time, or you watch all the time and you have not hit that follow button, please do. I would appreciate it. Once I get to 1,500, and I'm at I'm at 1,424 as of today. I got a couple of new ones today, new followers. But once I hit a new 100 every time, okay, I am going to go ahead and wash that. I got a little bit, quite a bit left of that medium green, so I'm going to wash my brush out and go straight into the dark Hauser. But every 100 new followers, I send out, well, I do a Happy Mail drawing and send out some nice Happy Mail. Okay, so we're just shading, and I'm just working it in. I'm not doing my normal shading right along the edge. I am just kind of fading it in towards the center of the leaf. Just gives it a little bit of a shadowy look. And we'll go a little bit under the petal here too, that where it would be a shadow. Maybe a little bit hard to see on camera. All right, let's see if you can tell the difference there. You hold it still a second and see if you can see that. Okay, see how it's starting to get dark on the bottom? Oh, well, I'm so glad that you caught me live. I'm not typically on here on Mondays, but I've got so much going on right now with projects that I'm going to try to paint as many as I can live with you guys. And from now until the 20th, I will be promoting the Paint with Pam Live Day, so that we can have a blast with all those that are going to get to come. Okay, I'm going to let that dry for just a second, and then we'll come over here and work on this other one. Let me turn it around a little bit. So this will be the bottom on this side. Paint's still just a little bit wet, which helps it to blend on this fabric. Now, if you were on wood, you probably wouldn't have it quite as wet. Ooh, had an itch in my eye. We have had puppy dogs now, different sets of puppies from my children for the last 3 weeks. Sometimes I have a little bit of an allergy issue when they're all here. Okay, and I'm just working some dark down into underneath that petal. get a little bit of green outside there, but I'll either clean it up with this. I found that on these canvases like this, the Deco Art bleached sand covers it up really well and matches the color of the canvas. All right, I'm going to dry it just a little bit, and then I'm going to add it a little more. I want it a little darker. Hi, Roxy. Hello. Thank you, Miss Peggy. I'm going a little bit fast because I'm a little limited on time today. We've got a lot going on with family. Going to go out to eat, and then going to go to a big fireworks show that we have in our community. But I thought we could get a little more done on this. Okay, I'm just adding another layer of that green. And I'm just kind of in places patting it in, so it has a really soft edge on it. And let's pat it in over here. And then we're going to come in with some lime green. Okay, now we're going to come in on the tops of them with some of that lime green, and it is a fabric paint. Fabric paint is very stringy, so you have to make sure, like spaghetti, kind of wrap it around your brush before you come over. Now, if you didn't have any lime green, you could also use a yellow or just a lighter green. We're going to work some of that in, just to give us a highlight, some contrast. Gonna go all the way out to that edge, and I keep just dipping in. And I'm just in a kind of in a circular motion, just working it in around the top where our light source would be, and just mixing it in with that dark green. Okay, so there we go. Let me see if I can get that on there. Okay, now it's pretty harsh right here in the middle, so I'm going to come in on the middle, and I'm just going to circular motions and just kind of work that in, blend it in, so there's not just a harsh line there. Okay, so here's the one without the highlight, and here's the one with. Makes such a difference. Okay, so let's do the same thing over here. I dried that one quite a bit, so I'm going to add just a little bit of moisture in there, just with water. Just going to work it in there, and then we'll blend it out. Just kind of fade it out. Okay, so I think we're good on our leaves. let's do, while my greens are still wet, let's do some curly cues. So I'm going to switch to my liner brush, and I'm going to dip into that medium green. It's kind of hard to load the liner brush in this honeycomb little thing here. Not going to do really anything down here because once you set the bag down, most of this is underneath. So let's do a curly cue up here. And I'll go back over it. Kind of work that paint in. And remember, when I heat set this in the dryer, that should set it. Although I don't think, even though it says you can wash them, I don't know that I would throw this in the washing machine. I would probably just hand wash it. Okay, so let's come in on the other side. And let's do one out to the side here. Thank you, Miss Roxy. And this canvas has little fuzzies on it, so you have to really work that paint down in. Now this is a stiffer fabric than what I'm working with on the hats. The hats that I've been doing, they're very soft. And it's a little difficult to kind of get the paint where you want it to go sometimes. Okay, I think I'm going to put a couple down here too. Not going to do a loop on this one. We'll just have it coming out. Oops, I dipped in the wrong paint. Wrong color. And we'll do one over here. Okay, and I think that's enough on that. And we can either do little small leaves, or we can do both on there. Let me see if I've got a smaller round brush. Okay, let me turn it right side up for me so I can make sure I get the leaves going the right way. We'll put a few leaves and then we'll put some little flowers out. So I'm just going to press down with a round brush and lift up. We're not going to do anything fancy. And I'm pressing down and then lifting up. Getting quite a bit of paint on the end of my brush. Dipping back into that paint until I get it covered like I want it. Then we'll come through and put some little flowers. Okay, let's dry that. I don't want to run my arm through it. Okay, so I thought it would be cute to put some bees across the top here. And then I want to put a ladybug down here. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put the ladybug on first. So it'll be at the bottom and I can work at the top. Nope, take that back. Take it back, because if I turn it around this way, the bottom's going to be here and I would lay my hand here. So let's do some little bumblebees. And I'm just going to hand draw these. Nothing fancy at all. So I'm just going to draw a little football shape. And then we'll draw a little head. Okay. And we need some wings. And I'll put those on here in just a second. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. Put one over here. Let me see. I want to get that pretty close. So let me pull my ruler out. As far as height on it. Okay, so that's where our little head will go. Now these won't be exactly alike because I'm just hand drawing them. So one may be a little bit fatter than the other one. And we'll do that right there. And I'm just doing little oval shapes. And then just a kind of a half oval for the head. And we'll go ahead and get those base coated. And we're going to do the wings in white. Okay, I think we can get away with it. With that, let me put my lid back on this in green. So I may end up adding a little more to it, so I want it to be good and tight. Pull my pants leg up a little bit. I'm getting hot up here, but I didn't want to change clothes because we're going to be leaving here pretty soon. Okay, so I've got the bees drawn on. And let's go ahead and fill them in with white first. The white is also already pre-mixed fabric paint. And then I'll put some ladybugs down in here. I don't know that if I'll have time to do that on camera, but I will definitely post a picture afterwards. Since I'm going to be doing yellow for the bees, I want to base coat white because that yellow is so transparent that it would take several coats to cover it if I didn't. Now the black I'm not worried about for the head because it will cover, so I'm just going to go right up to that head. And I'm using a small angle brush, but you could use a round or a flat. Just whatever you've got handy to fill it in. Gonna go ahead and fill in the wings. And we can shade those with a little bit of gray. Okay, it looks kind of funny right now with just the base coating on it, but once you start getting that yellow on there and then the little black stripes, we'll have ourselves some bees before we know it. We got some rain all the way, I mean, all around us, all around us. The street a block from our driveway, a few blocks from our driveway, was very wet. We get home, not a drop. No rain. I watered real good last night, but we need some rain. I will say the temperature's been much nicer. We've had 106 to 110 heat wave here in North Texas. And everything was just burning up. Okay, I'm going to come up just a little bit more with that wing to make it look a little more symmetrical with the other one. Okay, so while that's drying, we'll go ahead and do the other ones. Do y'all have big plans for tomorrow or for tonight? Okay, I'm gonna leave my plate over here. I'm reaching over myself there. Already got paint on me. I knew I'd do that. Sooner or later. Okay, is there anyone on here that has never been to an in-person paint party, paint day? Have you never been to one? Have you only done everything online? If you've never been to an in-person one, you just don't know what you're missing. They are so much fun just to be with everybody else and hand out the exact same pattern and then to see how many different ways it turns out. Even though you give the same instructions for everyone, same pattern, same paint colors, but it is amazing to me how they each have their own little style, because everybody has their own personality when it comes painting personalities. It's just so much fun to see what everybody comes up with. Okay, and I'm just going around covering up that pencil mark. Probably have a ladybug up here and then one down here. Maybe on the leaves we'll have some ladybugs. And then I'll outline the flower or shade around it. Haven't decided what color yet to shade around it. If you were doing this, what color would you shade around the outside of the petals to kind of lift it off of them? I thought about a deep blue. And then I thought about a tan color. And then I thought about a darker, much darker yellow. So endless possibilities. I have a little bee pattern. I could have just traced these on with graphite paper, but I really didn't mind that they weren't all going to be just alike. Okay, and I'm still just using this little angle brush, just twisting it around and working that paint in. I've had so much fun watching y'all paint your own versions of things that I paint live on here. It has been so much. That bothers some people when they paint something and they see somebody else doing it and they think, oh, they're just copying me. That thrills me to see something I have painted inspire someone else to paint it. I think that is a compliment. Okay, so we've got our 3 bees on there. Kind of looks like Mickey Mouse. I'm going to go ahead and put our yellow on. Let's get that dried though, or it's just going to blend right in. You did do the daisy hat, yes. It is fun, no matter what you're doing, stenciling or just comparing your things, even if you don't paint. It's just so much fun to get together with other ladies that enjoy doing the same thing you do, and just seeing all the different things and different ways that it can be done. I don't know, you just kind of feel accomplished when you've got cheerleaders around you. Now again, these little vines, I will put some little flowers at the end or little dots or something to make them look like buds. All right, let's get some yellow on our palette. I'm not going to put much out at first because we can always add to it if we need to. Okay, so this is just that fabric yellow. And I'm going to start down here with this one. Now, if I were doing this with my regular paint yellow, I would probably use the cadmium yellow. I want to be careful and not go over into the wing part. You could get a lot more detailed with these bees, but I'm just doing very simple. Pretty much just your basic shape. And then we'll dry that and start with our black accents, and that's when they become a bee, when you start adding all the black on there. I think my next live, I'm going to get brave enough and paint the denim jacket that I have. I'm going to do some leopard print flowers on it. That was the winning consensus on that, was doing the leopard print. So that's what we'll do. Okay, let's draw that and put a second coat just to be sure that it doesn't bleed through. Hey, Stephanie. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining us. We are painting a tote bag. Got our leaves on there. Just did those, so those are still kind of drying. We'll be doing a lot of blending and shading at the Paint with Pam Day. So if you've just hopped on and you're not aware of that, we have an in-person paint party, I guess you call it. Paint party, paint day, Paint with Pam Day here in Sherman, Texas. August the 5th. We'll do 3 different projects. We'll have door prizes, swag bags. We'll break for lunch. We'll have some photos that we'll take. And just some good old fun. All right, I'm going to put a second coat on there, and then I'm going to dry it one more time, and we'll start with our details. And again, if you've never painted with fabric paint, just be aware that it's a little stringy. So you want to make sure that you kind of, when you pick it up, see how stringy that is? That you just kind of twist your paintbrush to get it off. If not, it's going to string over onto your project, and you don't want that. All right, let's dry that, and then we'll put our little black details on there. Watching from Georgia. Got another Georgian on here. You're welcome, Katie. Yes. Stephanie Jean Harding is on here from Georgia. Maybe you're close. Okay, now I'm gonna have to turn it around so I can get these. Well, I can go ahead and do the head first. Let me get my little liner brush. Actually, let me get just a smaller round. Okay, so I'm going to switch to a small round. It's a number 2 Low Cornell. I don't think they make brushes anymore, which absolutely breaks my heart because they were my favorite brushes of all times. I wish I had an even stiffer brush. I don't want it just so stiff that you can't do anything with it. But it's really hard to paint on this canvas with a soft brush. So I'm kind of poking it down in there. So I want it to get down in that, down in the fabric. Now I do see that I need to bring this wing down a little bit because it's not even enough with the one on this side. It was looking a little lopsided. Okay, that's better. Even their heads are different sizes, but this is very whimsical. So, you know, I don't care if it's not all the same, which is a huge improvement for me because I don't know if you call it OCD, but everything in my world needs to be symmetrical and the same. And so I've tried to get away from that a little bit. Just see what I'm doing. I'm making this head a little taller because this one is so tall. I didn't think it would bother me, but okay, a little closer. I will be taking these items to the Florida painting event, Tamara's painting event. Anything that matches all the hats that I've been doing, I will be taking to Florida. So anything with sunflowers, daisies, anything like that that would match the hats. I've got a couple of more canvases that we did the beehives on. That I'll be taking. All right, I'm going to turn it around so that I can get the stripes pretty decent. Leave the same on here. And we'll outline the bee, and that'll clean it up a lot too. Okay, to outline it, I'm going to switch to my smaller, a little tiny liner brush. You want to be careful and not have too much water in your brush on this fabric, or it will bleed out on you. Okay, and I want to do some little antennae. And we've got some work to do on the wings also. There's where we are so far. Fill in around that head a little bit. It had a little spot on it that made it look out of proportion. There we go. Okay, let's outline this body. I just get my outline on there and then I go back and kind of fill it in. Up and down on some of it I'm having to go because of it being so porous. And then we'll do some little hashtags to show movement. We can do some little vines up here between them. Hey, Jean is your sweet friend? Well, I've never met her, but she's my sweet friend too. I have so many great women on here. Oops, let me turn this one around so I get the stripes on. I love my followers. They're so dedicated. It's so helpful to me. I learn so much from y'all. Okay, it's coming together. If you're just now hopping on, or if you're watching the replay, take note to the information for the Paint with Pam Day that's on August the 5th in person. Tried to talk my grandkids while they were here Friday into doing a commercial for me, and they chickened out. I need to make Mr. Pam get on here and do something live promoting it. I have a different location for the next time I do one that I just discovered thanks to a friend, Miss Connie Turner on here. I knew about it, but I just assumed it would be a lot more expensive, but it wasn't. It's about the same price, and there's a hotel right next door to it. So I'm going to look into that for next year. But this, I don't know, this one is just so much fun, and it's right by my house, so it makes it easy if for some reason I forgot something or Mr. Pam needs to run home for something. It's literally 5 minutes from my house, so that makes it very convenient. Okay, let's get a little bit of gray. Now, I'm not going to worry. I'm going to grab some just regular gray. And I'm not even going to worry about adding some medium to it. It's going to be so little. I'm not even going to pour it on my plate. I'm just going to, it's gray sky. And we'll put a little bit of shading in these wings. And that's got a little bit of yellow still in it. Just so they're not quite so stark white. And I'm just kind of dry brushing a little bit of that gray in the middle. Okay, I may not do hash marks. Let's get some vine in there and see what that does for it. And we'll do our, I'm not gonna have time to do the ladybugs on camera, but y'all have seen me do ladybugs several times. Let's do these in, get a little more of that medium green. A little more of the fabric medium. these would be cute with teacher things on them. I mean, you could just do just about anything with them. Okay, so I'm just going to do some vines in between the bees. Let's see if I have a little bit stiffer brush. I'm sure I do somewhere. All right, we're going to try this one. Still around, but it's a little bit stiffer. Okay, and I'm just going to go in between them. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on this other side. Okay, that went on much smoother using that stiffer brush. Let's put some on the outside here too. Okay, so there's what we have. And that's in the Hauser medium green. I don't know where I sat my lid. No telling. All right, I'm just gonna lay that plate over it. There it is. It's clear and it's hard to see. It was hard to see where it was. Okay, so we need to do the ladybugs, and then we need to put some leaves and some little flower looking things on here, and then we'll be done with it. But there's our bees. And lift you up here. Hold it back a little bit. But once we get a few more decorations up here and the things on the vines down here, I think we'll be done. But my family's waiting on me. Hi, Miss Sally. Hi, Kristen. Thank you so much. So it'll give it a little more color up here in here. Not sure what colors you had. I'll probably use the orange in that lime green like we did in the center of it. But I think it's going to make a cute handbag. Kind of big for a handbag. I don't know. We'll see. Tote bag is what I'm calling it. Tote bag. All right. So don't forget, please. Thank you so much to those of you that have been sprinkling out the information about the paint day. There's only 16 days left to sign up. We've got 9 so far. We'll be doing this little project. He's a foot tall. I'll be teaching you how to do a beard. It looks intimidating, but it is not. I will show you how to do that. And then we'll be doing the fall mason jar cutout. And it is, I believe, about 16 inches or so. 16.5 inches. So we'll be doing that. Lots of different techniques on this. We'll be gluing our letters on. I'll leave the back blank so you can take it home and paint something else on it if you want to. But we'll be doing that step by step. I'll have door prizes and swag bags. I'm like a kid on Christmas. When I start filling your swag bags with stuff, I have to finally tell myself, stop. You're going to go in the hole because you're giving too much in the swag bag. So I finally have to kind of limit myself to it. But if you know of anybody, hi Erin, thank you for hopping on. If you know of anybody that is within a 2-hour drive of Sherman, Texas, I'm about 60 miles north of Dallas, and that's where we will be having hi Miss Tracy, that's where we will be having the Paint with Pam Day on August the 5th at the Movie Bowl Grill here in Sherman, Texas. I do have some seats left, but they are limited, limiting them to 20 seats. And we've got 9 people so far. So I know, and there's some more that said they were going to, but they just have to wait for payday. So they may fill up pretty quick. So please don't wait if you're at all interested in coming. And this is what we're working on right now. I'll have to put the finishing details on the bag, probably off camera, because I'm probably going to do it really late tonight if we get home in time from the big fireworks show and everything. But that's what we've been working on the last couple of times. But remember, if you want to do this clothespin, learn how to paint a cute beard, pretty beard, realistic looking beard, I think. We're going to work on that and a few other little strokes that maybe you've been having trouble with. We'll be doing this big mason jar cutout and door prizes and swag bags. Please tell your neighbor if you're not where you can come, but if you know somebody that you think would enjoy this, whether they've never painted before or they're a seasoned painter, been painting all their life, it will be a fun day, and I would love to have you. It's only $125. I know that may sound like a lot, but the facility alone, I have to pay rent on that, and then all the supplies and all that good stuff. So I got it as low as I could get it, and still call it a business. So I couldn't go any lower on it. But it is lower than it was. We did this 2 years ago at the same place, and so I did get it down $10. There's a restaurant attached to it, but there's also a few eating places right around it. And there's a hotel that's just like 10 minutes away if you wanted to come Friday night and stay Friday night. So I would love, love, love to have you, but please spread the word for me. If you know of anybody that would be interested, or if you want to come, but you don't want to come by yourself, bring a friend with you. If you have a teenage daughter that would love to paint with you, make it a mother-daughter day. But we'll be doing those projects, and this is what we just worked on. Still got some details to go on it, but I'll post a picture when I get the rest of the details on it for you. But thank you so much for hopping on. Don't forget to hit that follow button if you have not hit that. If you enjoyed watching the tutorial, go back. I've got several videos that I've done in the last couple of weeks. Go back and watch those, and hopefully you'll learn something from it. If you have any techniques that you're struggling with, comment in the comments, and maybe we'll work on that for the next live. The next one we will do, I think I'll do the denim jacket, and we'll do some leopard print flowers. We'll get a little sassy with our flowers. All right, ladies, my family is waiting on me. They've got the truck loaded and ready to go. We're going to go eat, and then we're going to go sit in the back of the truck and watch a huge fireworks show and just have some family time with my physical family. I have my physical family, my spiritual family, and my precious paint family. And y'all mean so much to me. So thank you so much for hopping on. And hopefully I'll have my voice back when we get on next time. All right, y'all have a wonderful 4th of July. Bye-bye.